Hello and welcome to this week's Granny's Garden. Well, after a winter of snowstorms, blizzards, Arctic blasts and a month of April where I was seriously considering building Noah's Ark, finally the sun is shining. The temperatures are in the high 60s, which is pretty low for this time of year, but I'm all for it, I'm on board and I'm ready for alfresco dining. Well, the reality is I'm not quite ready, but I will be, and that's what today is all about, getting ready for the summer. Now, needless to say, to get my porch ready, that entailed a little visit to Fronda, my favourite gardening centre. So I grabbed hold of my friend Ava, as usual, and we headed off to buy some bedding plants and annual plants and some perennials, and of course a couple of shrubs on the way as well. Have you seen what's behind me? Still not quite ready, but this will be the first crop of figs. Of course, I get 2 crops a year. The one that comes out roughly about the beginning of June, and then a further one towards the end of August. Now I'm going to be planting up these containers here, which already have violas in them, but the violas are looking a tad sad at the moment. Now in the landscape, the violas are doing fabulously. There's the purple and yellow ones, and further down I've got the white ones. However, the ones in the container, although the flowers are still okay, the leaves, as you can see, are beginning to yellow and they need to be pulled. So I'm going to be pulling these out now, and I'm going to be planting what I picked up in the garden centre. Now for the first container that gets more sun, I've got 2 different pelargoniums. This one, which reminds me so much of raspberry ripple ice cream, this one is Pelargonia Bravo. And I'm going to pair it with this other one, which is Judith. And I think the combination of both of them together is going to be absolutely lovely. Now for the next container, I have got Platycodon. Now Platycodon, the common name is the balloon flower, and let's see if I've got one. No. Oh yeah, look. Is because when they are in bud, the big fat bud actually looks like a balloon. So common name balloon flower, proper name Platycodon. And again, I've chosen pink and purple together, which I think is going to look lovely. They're only going to spend the summer in these containers, and if they do well, I'm going to be planting them down into the border just below the containers because they are perennials. So the first thing I'm going to do to get the porch ready is plant the containers. Right, I've removed some of the topsoil. I've just made it nice and fluffy, and this is the way I'm going to be staging them, slightly in zigzag to give them more room because these will bush out. So, time to get to work. Look at that colour. Isn't that lovely? And now I just want to get this organised. This is a microtube, and it's got every 6 inches, it's got little holes. So perfect to keep this nice and moist. They are pelargonium, so I'm not going to be sticking the emitter tubes right against the stalk, just in the near vicinity. And I'm going to curl this one round here, and round the back, and then come in at this angle. So I'm just going to put this down here, and the other one here. I think that looks really pretty, and certainly when it starts bushing out, it's going to cover this entire thing, and they're absolutely masses of buds and masses of flowers. So a nice summer splash there. Hey, I don't know if you can see this, but this isn't raining, it's actually hailstones. Can you see that? Right, time to get back into the porch. What's up, Buston? You don't like being wet, do you? No, he doesn't. And poor Lily wants to play, but I'm afraid ice falling on her head is not on the cards. Well, it said it might rain today, but it certainly didn't say anything about a hailstorm. They got that one wrong. I'm just going to add a bit of topsoil to that. It's getting worse. Goodness. If you deadhead it properly, these are going to keep up a profusion of flowers the whole season long. If you can see, they flower in clusters. I've got the flower here and then 2 more future flowers here. So that's a little cluster. So what you would do is you would remove not just the flower head itself, but the flower cluster and the leaves just below it. So you'd nip it off down here, and then the following cluster with its set of leaves comes up to take over. And you do that successively all through the summer. Now, midsummer, what you can do is just shear the whole thing back to half height and let it rebloom in its entirety for the rest of the season. Now, as I said before, this is a perennial, a very long-lived perennial at that. So if it performs well and I like it, then after the season I'll just pop it down into the bulb and perennial border down there. This is USDA hardiness zone 3 through 8, so quite a little trooper it is. Now, because this is not their permanent position, these lads are going to get 18 to 24 inches tall, and they're not going to be here forever. So when they do get to their forever home, what I'll do is obviously space them out. I'm just packing them together here because it is a container, it's right beside the porch, and I want to get some maximum impact. As you can imagine, seeing this nice bell-shaped flower, it is a member of the Campanula family. You'd be correct in thinking so, because it is. Right, now as you can see, the rest looks like as if a bomb had hit it. It's definitely not inviting for al fresco dining. So I need to get this sorted out. I need to get a leaf blower out here to sort out all the dust I've made and the dirt I've made. Then what I want to do is get the power wash out. I want to power wash both the furniture and the floor. And look at the sneak peek. Look what I got. This little baby is the Ozothamnus. Oso from the Greek meaning smell and thamnus meaning shrub. But it is commonly called the rice flower, and no prizes for guessing why. It looks like I have a little handful of rice grains. It blooms like this all summer. The closed buds are pink, then it's like this in white all summer. It is from Australia and New Zealand. So, like many of their shrubs, the leaves tend to be small. It looks almost like a conifer, but they're not prickly at all. They're just very small leaves. And I love the shape of it. It's a compact shrub. It grows to be about 1.5 metres, which is just slightly shorter than I am, so around about the 5-footish mark. And this is going to be a wonderful addition to my shrub border, because I'm going to have interest virtually all year round. You can plant it in full sun or partial shade, and it can withstand up to minus 10 degrees centigrade, which is 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So absolutely perfect for me. Enjoyed this video. I'm certainly now ready for a bit of al fresco dining. That is, if the weather starts improving, because you just saw during this video that it started hailstorming on top of me. Hopefully it will improve now within the next week or so, and I'll certainly be out here probably morning, noon and night taking advantage of the good weather that you normally do get in Spain. But do take time to breathe a little. As gardeners, we're always with shovel in hand and we're planting or transplanting, and we never seem to sit down and enjoy the fruits of our labour. So highly recommended. Sit back with a cup of tea or a Rioja wine if that takes your fancy, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for the moment. And I will see you, of course, next Friday here in Granny's garden. Bye now.